was going over some of the stuff that I've got on here. Covered I covered Taiwan, and I also went over. Well, you seen the post, didn't you?
Inside the chat where it was talking about the secret military base.
Yeah, I posted the links and everything to them inside of live
The Air
live with
Force.
Roger Hanson, and then I also did them on. I covered Cheyenne Mountain, and then Chashan Air Force Base in Taiwan. You know, Cheyenne Mountain. The one thing that really sticks out to me that I wanted to mention is, you know, how everybody threw this big fit about the Space Force and Trump creating it and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a load of shit because, like, the Space Force has been out a heck of a lot longer than what Trump was ever in office. As a matter of fact, Cheyenne Mountain was created for the specific use of the Space Force, and a lot of people aren't aware of that. You know, like. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. And then NORAD, that was their headquarters. And NORAD, if you're not aware of it, that's kind of like an alliance between the United States and Canada. And they, like with the UN, how everybody's wanting to try to make everything into a world government.
Yeah.
Like, they have certain steps to try to achieve that. NORAD is a part of that. So you have a North American alliance, and then there's the alliance between the United States and Europe and all that, you know. So you got that going on, and that was actually Cheyenne Mountain was actually their headquarters. That's where they ran out of. You see, and then it gets even weirder there because you have the emergency broadcast that's operated out of NORAD, as well as FEMA. You know, so FEMA is what's really odd about that area. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Isn't FEMA national though? Like, isn't it go everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere in the United States. And I mentioned something, I don't know if you heard it or not, but like what gets me about FEMA is, like, I'm from a small area, you know what I mean? So when we have disasters and everything, FEMA won't help us, because the only way FEMA will help any area that's been hit by disasters is if their population is above a certain amount of people.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, like, to me, it just seems like FEMA is trying to herd people. It's a herd mentality, trying to herd them into these bigger populated areas because they don't want them to be in small towns.
So that they can use the small towns for concentration camps. Have you heard of FEMA concentration camps?
Well, why don't you tell us about it?
I just heard supposedly that there were such things to where eventually people will be put in concentration camps that would be operated by FEMA. It'll be a state of emergency, which is we're moving towards. It's coming soon because of these wars. There's going to be one more little tiny thing that breaks out on the side, and then it'll be a reason for us to shut down. Our government has to make a little bit more money before we can do that, though. In the process, for your safety, we'll transition to digital currency. We'll transition to more. Well, it's not going to be.
Yep, we got cut off. Hold on, give me a second. I can take care of this. This happens to me every once in a while.
When you're able to, when you seem to be irate or going crazy, not complying, you know, you want to go out and kind of do your own thing. And this is when FEMA concentration camps are going to come into play. So first it'll start with getting the people that just were putting us in harm's way. At least that's what it'll present. And then before you know, it's something you've done or anyone you know has done that is not in compliance and in complacent with what we have going on our agenda will be a victim of fault of having to be placed in these concentration camps. The kids will be taken somewhere separate. They'll be separated from their families. Most people won't be able to know where their children. I mean, unless we stop it. This is our plan. These are the goals. I'm just saying it can be stopped, but nobody wants to stop it. We want to watch some ass shake and talk about how you should be this size at this time and have this much money in this area. And so that's more important. But I mean, eventually, like I said, they'll take your kids and they'll separate you from your children. Your kids will submit easily. They'll train them to be basically war ready. Eventually, it'll make it seem as if you put them away. They start with the kids in foster homes, parents who they don't really give you a reason, especially the babies. Like, so if you got separated from your mom at a young age, and let's just say, open the microwave, stop making it beep, and you got separated from your mom at a young age, and you don't know why you got separated, we'll feed you whatever storyline is going to make you more ruthless and more aggressive for our fight. And then we'll sit here and we'll allow you to build up. And if you're not, we like how they offer you stuff for going to college and having degrees now. The more ruthless you are, you'll get stuff. You'll get rank. You'll level up. We're not going to go with traditional military because then there's clauses to where within the military there's certain branches. This is going to be a completely different branch. It's not going to be your Army. It's not going to be your Navy. It's not going to be your Air Force. And it's not going to be your Marines.
Yeah. Now, you've heard about the...
So there's just some things that you're going to have to pay attention to. Hold on, please.
Now, you've heard about the guillotines, right?
No.
And the calling?
No, the only time I've heard about the calling or callings was on Manifest. Manifest was the show on Netflix about a lot of stuff that we speak of that we just kind of disregard. It's a really good show, though. But no, that's the only time I heard about callings. They called their visions callings when they're able to see the truth. I thought my cat was throwing up. She not, though.
Now, older, more traditional conspiracies believe that the calling is going to happen. And when I say calling, I'm saying CULLING. And like when they used to call horses, or they still do in some parts of the world, but or animals, they'd call them. They'd gather them together and just eradicate them. And there's conspiracies that are out there that believe that they're trying to call humans as well. Not only are they trying to call them, but FEMA is also supposed to be involved in it. And when they start the calling, here recently it's gotten more popular that they believe that FEMA is going to move into the back of these big Walmart super centers, and they'll set up guillotines and line people up and just start cutting their heads off.
That's why they set up that's why they reconstructed the structure of Walmart. I don't know how your Walmarts look, but they've already prepared down here. And luckily for me, I'm trespassed from Walmart, so I don't have to worry about that.
Just stay away. Just stay away from Walmart.
All right, I'm trespassed from the one that's nearby anyway, but I can go to other ones. But no, it's still funny because like they've already started, and people are like, "Oh, they're remodeling." Like if you look at the structure of the new self-checkouts and the way that they're doing it, you can kind of see how the X-ray scans. Even WWOW, which disappointed me, just how they've changed their computer system. Everyone's gonna have to check in. You're gonna have a barcode. If you refuse the barcode, you're not gonna be able to. You'll be able to survive, but you have to be smart enough to survive. But the barcode system is basically a mark system for us to be able to know where you're at all times and to be able to keep you under control. And we're going to tell you it's for your safety because there's going to be a problem in every single area, especially the big ones. The little areas, are going to be military, police. They're going to be police because it's easier to be able to police, just to make sure. We're more so worried about people coming in there to take cover than we are worried about people leaving, because most people in small areas, they don't really go big. Like you get the kids who are like, oh, I'm gonna get out of this small town and I'm gonna go to the city, stuff like that. But in most cases, people that are in a small town are in a small town because that's where they desire to be. So there'll be military that's around the borders just to be able to monitor who goes in and out. But in the big areas, there'll be, like I said, a barcode system. They start with this vaccine. The problem was everyone hasn't submitted to the vaccination. And so with that being said, and it wasn't enough for people to say, oh, you'll have to stop having this job or you'll have to stop working. So again, like I said, we have to have some type of form to where we can kind of touch everyone. We have to have something. And that's where the money system comes in, because everyone uses money to survive. No one has gotten into the mindset of being able to survive without money. The people that could help us get to that mindset are too greedy to actually assist with our thought process to go against money. So then we'll control your currency and you won't have any access to it except by that which goes through us. We'll know at all times when, like right now, your government doesn't know what they can find out, but they don't know offhand when you're going into the bank and accessing your funds. Well, now it'll be, you'll have to scan to enter into the bank, and then we will know. You'll have to scan to enter into the bank, scan to enter into your account. When it does, it'll kind of send a signal to a national database that'll explain whether, like, what you're doing, and we'll be able to monitor all transactions and all occurrences. I know I keep saying we, I probably sound like I'm like the leader or something, but I'm just saying that's how.
It sounds good to me. Don't worry about that. I'm not big into the whole semantics of that. I kind of understand I know what you're saying, so.
Yeah. And so that's just in order to control. But I mean, like, there's a way out. People just, they don't want to hear what the way out is because they're so afraid of, they're worried about not having stability and losing control. The whole time, this whole system is being set up for them to no longer have, like, lean on your government for stability. And we're going to tell you, you find stability in these camps here. This is where you're going to be safe. They're not going to say it like that, though. They're going to market it like it's Disney World, and you're going to want to go, just like the vaccine. We're saving your life. You have to have this. Oh my God, I would have died without the vaccine. And you get all these people that believe that.
Yep. Now, on the other one, the Tieshan Air Force Base, now, this one is kind of weird, too, because, like, this is a China Republic military base on Taiwan territories. And this isn't a small Air Force base, either. It's an underground, deep underground military base with enough space to hold 200 jet airplanes on, and the takeoff running pads to hold them. And the weird part of it is, like I said, is it's in Taiwan. My big question is why, if there's so much stuff coming out of the conflicts between Taiwan and China right now, why does China have this military base on Taiwan territory? Okay.
Okay, so this is what the logical explanation is, or maybe that's why they're fighting. But truth be told, what if everything that you see is not real? What if we would like you to look at the dancing monkey because there's a talking horse over here and we don't want you to know about it yet?